Think about the last time you worked in a low trust environment where you had to send everything in writing because verbal commitments meant nothing, where people said one thing in meetings and another outside them. That is not just an unpleasant place to work, that is an organization paying an enormous tax on every single interaction. I call it the trust tax. And today I want to show you exactly how it accumulates and three principles that rebuild it. How trust breaks. Here is the most important thing to understand about trust. Trust does not break dramatically. It erodes in four small ways. A commitment made and not kept, not a major promise, something minor. I will get back to you by Thursday. Thursday comes, nothing. One occurrence, the team member gives benefit of the doubt. 20 occurrences, they stop trusting anything you say. A confidence shared and not protected. Someone told you something sensitive. It found its way into a wider conversation. They will never be honest with you again. A standard set and not enforced. The standard becomes a suggestion, and suggestions are not respected the way standards are. A decision reversed without explanation. Teams can handle change. What they cannot handle is change without honest communication about why. The trust equation. There is a framework called the trust equation. Trust equals credibility plus reliability plus intimacy divided by self orientation. Credibility. Do people believe you know what you are talking about? Most leaders score reasonably here. Reliability. Do you do what you say you will do? This is where most leaders have gaps they are not aware of. Intimacy. Do people feel safe being honest with you? The most underestimated component of trust in leadership. And self orientation is the denominator, which means it divides everything else. A leader who is visibly focused on their own career and reputation, even while being technically excellent, will not be fully trusted because people can sense when someone's primary interest is themselves. What most leaders miss. Here is what most leaders miss. Your team is watching everything, not just the big decisions, the small ones. How you treat people when you are under pressure, whether you follow through on minor commitments, whether you protect confidences, whether you take credit or give it. Trust is built in the small moments and destroyed in them too. Every interaction is either a deposit or a withdrawal. Rebuilding trust. Three principles for rebuilding trust. Keep small promises first. Grand gestures in a low trust environment are received with skepticism. What rebuilds trust is small, consistent, repeated reliability over time. Every minor commitment kept on time without being chased adds to an account that has been depleted. Name the breach directly, not a vague apology. I said I would do X and I did not. I understand that affects your trust in me. That's uncomfortable, but the only honest path to repair. Change the behavior, not just the words, not just the words. An apology followed by the same behavior is worse than no apology. Trust is rebuilt through sustained behavior change every day, whether anyone is watching or not. He kept about 60% of his commitments. To him, reasonable. He was busy. The ones he missed were small. To his team, 40% broken consistently. Over 18 months, one team member told me he is a good person, I respect his intelligence, but I stop trusting what he says because what he says and what he does are different things. A good person, respected but not trusted. We introduced one practice, a commitment log, every promise written down, reviewed every Friday. 6 weeks later, everything had shifted. Not because he became a different person, because he became visible to himself. Your challenge, keep a commitment log for 5 days, every promise written down with a date. Review it Friday, count the gap. The gap is your trust tax liability. Tell me in the comment, have you worked in a genuinely high trust team? What made it different? CHROs, DM me trust to talk about building high trust culture in your organization. It has been 10 weeks. Thank you for being here. I will see you next week.